RAMS art project got started when we went to the Farnsworth Art Museum.
We got a chance to go in and view an exhibit that was on display by the artist Ai Weiwei,
who's a dissident artist who raises awareness about social injustices through his art.
Then to take the ideas that we talked about at the museum, bring them back to our classroom and create our own artwork using some of the same concepts that Ai Weiwei used with his artwork.
And the students brainstormed and came up with a bunch of different problems like drug addiction, overdosing, suicide.
We talked a little bit about the ACEs, the adverse childhood experiences that can cause risky behaviors.
Kids chose certain topics to look into.
After brainstorming, we talked about some of the social issues that we recognize in our own lives as well as what we see on social media. A lot of the ideas that came through that brainstorming really centered around the idea of mental health and how that affects how people are able to be successful or healthy and live productive lives.
They kind of found out that a lot of these things connected to poverty.
We were just trying to think of ways that we could represent all the things of poverty, and what we came up with was that poverty affects things in your brain, so we used the brain to show different parts of that.
Most of our things were themed around things that happen emotionally and physically, but most of all, things happen in your brain, right?
The idea is that we're going to take this brain sculpture and every individual have a kind of cause and effect that will go inside of that sculpture.
Each kid focused on a certain aspect of health issues that come up because of poverty.
I chose diabetes,
substance abuse,
COPD,
incarceration,
Bullying,
alcoholism,
emotional abuse leading to drug use.
I went with sexual abuse.
I myself chose cyberbullying,
alcoholism, and how it can affect their children, and neglect.
I think in some cases they are a little bit more personal.
They're aware of a lot of this stuff going on and they live with it on a daily basis.
I was a victim of bullying a little bit.
It's been in my family for a long time.
I have family members that struggle with it.
I have a lot of friends and family that were emotionally abused and that kind of leaded them towards using drugs.
A lot of people that I know have suffered it and they struggle to get on with their lives, and I guess it's mostly just to show them that I care and I know what they're going through.
The idea behind the class art project is to spread awareness to things that people don't exactly know about. Things that there could be confusion about, or things that just don't get talked about a lot.
When we first started the project, I kind of thought it was just going to be something like we did all year, just a regular project.
It really was just a way to get out of class. I didn't really care.
At first I thought it was boring.
If I'm being honest, I kind of thought it was dumb.
But it really ended up turning out being more than I thought it would be, and it's actually really interesting.
I'm surprised that the students got so engaged in this project.
My initial thoughts were that it was going to be something that was going to be a little bit easy, something that we were going to know about, and then I found out that it was going to be a lot more intense than that, and that it really would be hard for us.
I guess it's mostly about just raising awareness and showing people that we care.
Middle school students are talking about these pretty heavy issues because it's in their lives. That's pretty heavy and pretty powerful.
I knew that no one talks about it because it's a really awkward thing to talk about.
I knew that was something that people didn't really like to talk about because it was always a heavy topic. After I started researching, I started to understand more. People really need to learn more about, because the things that you learn about it will really help you on in life.
You can't help but be struck by that fact that these students are raising awareness in the communities about problems that are affecting their lives.
Since this project, I've looked a lot more into it. It's actually pretty interesting.
I have learned that it affects people in all different ways, and that our community is affected by it, by not only the people who are drinking, but the people who aren't, and have bad things happen to them because of people who are drinking.
I've learned that a lot of reasons why people bully is because of poverty. Like, say kids don't have that much money to buy new clothes, they'll get bullied for that. They'll get bullied for haircuts, they'll get bullied for shoes.
People who are in poverty tend to buy more junk food because it's less expensive.
I've learned that the topic is more common than people would actually think. It's actually very serious.
I've learned that sexual abuse isn't something that people like to admit to. They kind of keep it hidden, and if you were to bring it up, they wouldn't really want to talk about it.
I think they are seeing that there is a correlation between the effects of these different factors, and I think it's becoming more clear to them that there are factors that are making things difficult for some people, and hopefully they'll be able to be a little bit more tolerant and understanding how different people struggle with different factors.
It makes me feel kind of sad that many people struggle with this.
It makes me feel sad that people go through it and have to deal with it all the time.
It's really painful, and I think this will really help people.
I hope that us doing this project will make people more aware of the stuff we're talking about.
I hope that people who are struggling with alcoholism can get the help that they need, and people who have someone in their family who's struggling with it can help them get the help that they need.
What I hope to see as a positive result is that people take this knowledge of what's going on and spread the awareness.
I just like to see people recover from what they've experienced.
As a result to this art project, I hope that people will recognize that this is happening around them.
There are a lot of kids that come to our program are struggling with these ACE factors all the time. And for them to be able to talk about it and bring it out in the open, I think is a good thing.